Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, um, June 8th. Um, I'll be doing this every Saturday on YouTube, every Saturday morning. But welcome to Disability Relationship and Encouragement. I have a disturbing video that I'm going to show to you guys. Trust me, it's very disturbing. Um it's very sad to see this. Um it's if you have kids, make sure that, I would say keep kids in the other room. But other than that, I have a disturbing video that I'm going to show you dealing with the 19-year-old autistic boy dying behind bars. So here's the video.
Oh my God. You could see in his mugshot how distressed he was. I had nightmares for months. The fear. The fear in his eyes. I've never seen anyone so scared. They knew he was autistic. He was terrified. You could see it. Right then and there, if they had paid attention, they would have known something bad was about to happen and he needed medical help right then and there.
Remember what Sergeant said? You're going to go there for 10 hours next time you go in there. You want to do that? Then have a seat and chill out. Sit down. Sit down.
He was 3 weeks away from turning 20. He had Tourette's syndrome and he was autistic. He was a huge, huge sports fanatic. Wrestling, especially wrestling. He had WrestleMania birthday parties every year.
These guys right here, that one Isaiah's.
Because Camden and Isaiah watched WrestleMania together. Last year, Camden put an empty chair next to the TV next to him and a drink. And he set it aside for Isaiah. They were best friends. They were best friends. He was just a really, really kind-hearted boy. He really was. He wanted everything to be better. He wanted things to be better for people with disabilities. He wanted people to be more accepting. His dad told me that Isaiah's at Miami Valley. He's on life support, and they're saying that there's nothing that they can do for him. There's too much brain injury. So he was stemming in the videos, and he just kept hitting his head. Stemming, some people, it just helps them to calm down. It's not something they can control. Some people flap their arms, some people do hand. I mean, he did all of that too, but when he would get really upset, he would hit his head. The more they try to, control the stemming, like the more more irritated they get. He hated to be touched. He hated to be restrained. Even as a baby, the car seat alone. Oh, that was awful.
Please, let's talk about this.
He hated to be restrained. He hated people touching him. He loved to hug, but only certain people. Like me, my mom. I do know they stripped him naked. And he hated his body to be exposed. And he kept telling them that. He kept asking them if they would just talk to him. Please just listen.
Can someone please listen to me?
Being confined. He hated to be confined. Absolutely, that would trigger him, and he would just panic. In the video, you can see the hematoma. You can see it in the video. They knew he was autistic. Everybody knows somebody that's autistic. There's no way not one person there knew. The mental health specialist told him to quit being a crybaby. He just wanted to call his mom. I could have calmed him down. It would have been too late by that point, though, if they wouldn't. The doctor told me, had we gotten him sooner, we could have saved him. What would have been his 21st birthdays during the solar eclipse? And we're gonna take some of the dog's ashes and some of Isaiah's ashes, and we're gonna go spread them during the eclipse to celebrate his 21st birthday. He really would have been a world changer. He really would have, if somebody would have just listened to him. The only thing I want is for nobody ever feel this again. Nobody should walk around feeling like this every single day.
All right. As you guys can see in that video, it's tragedy that uh, that this 19-year-old teen named Isaiah Tremel died behind bars, and they consider it as a committed suicide, which I don't believe that, um, because the police can the police can stop that from happening, but they didn't. They let him do that to himself. Um, you know, when he banged his head on a wall, that's how he, died 3 days later, as considered to the Daily News article on .com. Um, Basically, when he bang his head on a wall like that, it's the it's a type of coping mechanism that he's like, I wouldn't say used, but that's how he copes and deals with stress and anxiety and all those different things. And the police department does not understand the the coping skills dealing with people who's autistic, dealing with people who has disability, and they just they the police department does not know how to handle the people who's autistic or who's has disability. I was one of them. So, but anyways, I have this article from dailymail.com. Um and I'll give shout out to my coworker. He gave this to me to present to you guys the the things of what's going on out in this world. But anyways, um, as I'm reading this to you, disturbing footage shows a terrified autistic 19-year-old desperately asking cops to listen to him before he repeatedly slammed his head on a sorry, a cell door and died. Isaiah Tremel was taunted, belittled, and threatened by 9 guards as he begged for his medication at the Montgomery County Jail in Ohio. He was taken there after he was arrested following a mental health episode in March 2023. After fatally injuring himself, he was taken to a hospital where he later died. In surveillance videos obtained, the Columbus Dispatch officers are seen telling Tremel he was ridiculous, embarrassing, and acting like an a-hole, as they call it. He was strapped into a restraint chair twice and threatened a third time with severe consequences if he did not calm down. But Tremel responded to the threats by banging his head on the cell door and screaming, "Let me out." Um, no one listened as Tremel asked for his medication, a phone call, and a blanket, according to the dispatch. Tremel was then rushed to a hospital where he died 3 days later, with coroner ruling it was suicide, or ruling it as suicide. Tremel had been taken to jail after neighbors called police because he spent the night banging his head into a wall at his home. He told officers banging his head on the wall was the only way I know to get rid of the crazy in my head. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know if he's also schizophrenic or not, or I know he's not bipolar from what I read, but I wonder if he was schizophrenic as well. Um, boy, um, he should have had mental help, like mental therapy, something to help him out. But anyways, I'll read on. Officers booked Tremel when they discovered he was wanted on an outstanding misdemeanor domestic violence warrant. He had allegedly been abusive to his sister and her husband. All right, so let me tell you this, and I'll be honest. I actually will blame her sister for, um, I would say, for calling the police and putting charges on him. She should have known that her brother and her husband, they should have known that, hey, he's autistic. This is how he is. Yeah, sometimes he become violence. Like most autistic, I won't say most, but some autistic people, especially on a low severe range, yes, sometimes they will become violent. I mean, it's, they feel like they are being attacked and they will put their defense up, you know, things of that nature. And her sister should have known that. So I will blame her sister for what she did to her brother. That is just wrong. And what they should have done is he should have had a caregiver. I believe if he would have a caregiver that can help him with not only his emotions, but help him calm down, help him not get so violent, help him to, relax. This would not ever happen at all. And he would have been in jail at all. So, you know, that's crazy, her sister, you know, I blame his sister, and his sister now has to realize what she has done, cuz cops don't cops doesn't understand all this situation. And now he did that to himself. Now I'm pretty sure that you know something I I'm pretty sure karma might happen to her, like literally. Like she should have known better. But you know, give her grace. Um, you know, and so, anyways, I'll just read on, and basically I'll digress and just read on. Um, Tremel's heartbroken mother, Brandy Abner, told the Columbus Dispatch that Tremel had a history of banging his head as a coping mechanism, which often saw him end up in hospital. She had not been aware of the outstanding warrant against her son. So I wonder I wonder what happened between Brandy Abner and her daughter, if she had one. Because this does not make any sense at all. Um, but anyways, I'll continue to read on. We always call when he begins to rage. It's a mental health call, not an arrest me call, she said. The 19-year-old told officers he suffered from ADHD and did not want to live. Tremel was put on suicide watch, meaning he was he was strip searched and isolated in a safe cell. However, according to the dispatch, he was given a mattress, blanket, or a suicide resistant gown. Or, excuse me, he wasn't given a mattress, blanket, or a suicide resistant gown. Man, the police department, the system needs to change. The police department system, the whole system needs to change to where they can understand people who has disability. They need and actually a training on how to handle people with special needs, because apparently they don't know how to handle anybody who has special needs, and they can just arrest and do whatever they want. It's it's just it needs to change. Um, but anyways, he hated his body to be exposed, and he kept telling them he hated to be confined, absolutely that would trigger him, his mother said. Officers allegedly kept him on the restraint chair for more than an hour, which is against Ohio standards for restraints. The cops also continue to threaten to put Trammell into the chair a third time. The chair is supposed to be a last resort and used after providing medication. When one officer said they couldn't use the restraint chair, another cop replied, "Just put the chair in front of his effing cell so he stops." I don't know what to do with this situation, but leave me a comment. Do you think what the cops did was really wrong and humiliating? Just leave me a comment on that. Um, Give him a constant reminder, as they're saying. The Montgomery County Jail Coalition has called on the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections, or ODRC, to investigate Trammell's death. Isaiah would been alive today had he been treated with dignity and respect in the jail by staff concerned for his health and well-being. Instead of listening to his cries for medication, he was laughed at and ignored. We need accountability for what happened to him, said Yvonne Carrington, retired nurse and jail coalition member. The sheriff's office told Dayton Daily News on Monday that ODRC's Bureau of Detention found no deficiency in how the sheriff's officer handled his death. I'm going to tell you this. The jail is not made for people who have special needs or for people who's autistic. It's wrong. It's very dangerous. And, and they should not be in there at all. So medical and mental health providers at the jail provided treatment to Trammell from the time he was booked into jail until he was transported to a local hospital, said the sheriff's officer's spokeswoman, Christine Bevins. Although people facing charges for violence crimes shouldn't be released to society to deal with, our community needs a medical facility with a lockdown unit that can better handle those who are in crisis. So, from what I would say, from what it looks like, I think the mother should sue the police department for letting this happen. I really think she should do that. Now, in my opinion, I would have. I hate doing this, but I would have sue. I don't know. I would have sued her daughter, but yet I think that could be wrong as well because it's your own family. But I would say this. I would say Isaiah Trammell's sister is responsible for for this happening. And, it's the police department's responsibility to keep him alive, and they did, and they didn't do that. Instead, they let him bang his head on the wall and um, letting him die like that. And cops don't care. Cops is there laughing, making threats. It's like, come on now. Like the police department has to take accountability for what happened. Like no questions asked. The mother should sue the department because of what happened, and so on and so forth. This I would say this is what I think they should have done. The police department should have just took him to the mental hospital. If they would have took him to the mental hospital, it would have helped him out tremendously. And because yes, he's on a warrant, but I mean, still, they should have put him in a mental hospital. They should have got him help. You know, yes, he was banging his head on the wall, but that's how he copes. He copes on banging his head on the wall. Um, that's how some people who's autistic use their coping skills. Now, it's the wrong coping skills, but it's how they did it. There's some people who's autistic cut themselves. I was one of them. You know, I have it on my arm right here. So, um, that's how I used to cope. But I don't do that anymore because, in all honesty, it's because the Holy Spirit is with me, and that God is with me, and God been helping me use better coping mechanism and use it in a healthy way. And you know and so I thank the Lord for helping me out when I get stressed or when I have anxiety or when I feel depressed. I thank the Lord for not only keeping me alive but using better coping mechanism in a healthier way. And so, but yes, people with autistic, they used to cut themselves. They used to bang their head on a wall. Um, they used to like punch trees or punch a wall. You know, things of that nature. Um, you know, but I really think this is what I really think should happen. I really think if he would have a caregiver that can help him out, because I really think that's the biggest mistake. And I would say the his mom should have known this, and and I'm not blaming her for anything, but I believe that his mom should um, pay for the caregiver, and I would say just take him to take him where he can get help, you know, um, and things of that nature. I would say just give him a caregiver. If he would have got a caregiver, I think he would not been arrested. I also believe that he wouldn't get any warrant. But also, I do blame her sister or his sister. His sister has to take responsibility for calling the police and putting charges on him. She should have never done that. Instead, she should have got him help. Um, she should have either called a caregiver to help him or call the police, but tell the police that hey, he needs help. He needs to go to the mental hospital. Um, he's having these crazy thoughts in his head or, things of that nature. Also, I also believe that the police department need to create some sort of like a system where like instead of like them calling the police, they can call like someone who deals with a mental health crisis, things of that nature. Instead of the police coming to the door to help out with the mental health crisis, you have somebody who works with the mental health crisis society, and they can go up to the door and like take them out and take them to like let's say a mental health police car, you know, that sort of thing. So um we need to like ask the government, ask the politician, or get the politician or the government to make this create a system or I wouldn't say a job, but make like a facility for the mental health crisis. Actually, they already got one, but I would say have like instead of your regular police officer, have the mental health police department to help out and take the take people who has mental health crisis, you know, in their car and take them to the mental health facility where they can get help instead of taking them directly in jail, because the police officer who's in the correction department, they don't really care about the people who's in prison or in jail. They also didn't care, as you can see in that video, about that guy. So, you know, they should do something about this situation. But anyways, thank you for watching this video. And every Saturday in the morning, I will create more and more videos. Um, and and so on and so forth. But anyways, once again, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Thank you for watching this video. As you can see on the black screen, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and click the notification. Thank you.